So you know how we just got rid of the Eclipse, right? Well, while getting rid of the Eclipse to go back home, I packed a lot of stuff like I didn't need because we're moving out in like 3 months from this apartment complex. So I was just packing some things that I thought that I might not need. So one of those things was my starter for my car because I was like, my car starts perfectly fine. Why do I need it? Guess what proceeds to happen? Yeah. So this weekend, I'm going back home to get the starter. Yeah. But I've just been push starting my car for like the last 2 days. So I really need that starter. And I have the idle air control valve disconnected because it idles way better. So that also doesn't help because I have to add gas while letting off the clutch and then put the clutch back in while holding the gas pedal while also trying to brake. So yeah, it's just a little difficult. Sometimes I rev bomb my car off the rip, which I don't like doing, but I do have those parts on order though. I do have both my belts coming in and the idle air control valve, and I did order an oil catch can just to see if that might help. But guess which one came in first? The one I don't need, the oil catch can. So still waiting on the idle air control and the 2 belts. So hopefully that fixes the drivability problem, but I still need to fix the main problem, my car not starting. So get ready for another drive home video. So I made it home. And this is my 1994 Chevy S10, which was running before I left, kind of. And then I messed with the timing a little bit because the timing was off. And now it doesn't want to start at all, so it's been sitting for a whole year. But I have big plans for it. But the bad thing is that my parents are actually trying to sell this house and they're going to be renting out another place. This is kind of where I keep everything. I don't really know where I'm going to put my truck because I have to fix that before they sell it. Then I have to fix the Eclipse, which is covered right now by a car cover, which is going to be like this for the next 3 months before I move back in. Yikes. And then I have to finish my car today. And here's the mistake I made. Packing my starter up in the Excursion because I thought my car starter was perfectly fine after fixing my alternator issue. Nope. So I got this alternator. I know it looks pretty old and beat out, but I did bench test it with a battery and it was still working. So I am going to be putting this in my car. And if this goes out, well, I guess I'll just get a new starter. So here's what I'm thinking my plan is for my Protege 5 is going to be. So I do have an extra engine from when I got that car. The owner said they rebuilt the engine because they were going to turbo it. And like all this brand new, apparently it's rebuilt. I don't know. I mean, the pistons are from D&J. I don't know if you guys can really see that too good. It wasn't starting, so I just decided to take it out and put the engine from my old car into this one. And I just decided to take this one apart to see if it was actually rebuilt, but I think I'm going to rebuild it this time. And I think I'm going to get a different head from the junkyard and replace all the valve stem seals and all that. That's for a later time. Right now, I'm gonna do the starter on my car. Along with replacing the starter, I also got 2 new belts for the alternator water pump and the power steering and AC. And I also got an oil catch can, just to see if it might help with my oil consumption problem. But we'll see there. Now the starter for this is actually behind the engine. And I know on some cars it's like up front, which would be way easier. Because I know someone who has a CR-V and it's literally like right there. Like I would love it
if my starter was right there. But no, Mazda decided to put it all the way back here underneath the intake. So I'm gonna have to get under the car, replace it. And for the belts, it's pretty easy. I showed you guys last time how to do the belt on the alternator. Just a bunch of bolts, loosen up. It's kind of the same for the power steering. You loosen this bolt up. And then there's a bolt back here you loosen up. Whoa, right there. And then there's one underneath the pulley that you also loosen up to loosen the belt tensioning. Look at the spider. Scary looking thing. But you're just gonna chalk the wheel, just like, even if I guess it is a tiny piece of wood, it'll be fine, right? Now, since I haven't been home for like a good almost a year, everything's kind of misplaced, I guess you could say, from where I'm used to it being. So it's time to dig everything out, like the jack. The jack is right there, in the middle of all this stuff. Would be easy to put the belt on right now, but might as well see if the starter works. So I'm gonna be replacing the starter first. Oh, I forgot I'm too low to fit a normal jack under my car. And I'm gonna try it from this angle. Oh, this might work. If I remember correctly, there's one bolt up here, this one, and then there's two more on the bottom, if I'm not mistaken, which I think this is the one that's on the top, and the two bottom ones are right there, I think, and then you just disconnect the back. So I'm going to undo the first two bolts that are underneath just to get started, and then I'll get the one up top, and then I'll undo all the wiring, and then I'll get it out. I think my rear crank seal is also leaking because the amount of oil that is right here, as well as like dripping from right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's leaking from there. I just replaced the front one. Looks like I have to replace the rear one too, which is definitely for a later date. I kind of forgot how much work this kind of is, because there is this bracket here that you have to undo. It's just two bolts up there, two bolts down here, and then I can get to the starter. So I got all the wires off, and I did get that bracket off, and I just have to get the bolts, which I'm pretty sure there are 12. There's one, you can't really see it, right there. It's kind of hiding behind that big one. There's another one, I think, on the side or up top, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think my rear main seal is definitely bad. There's oil in the threads of this bolt. Cooked. The two bolts are actually up here, one right there, and the other one right there. Yeah. It's the next day, and I didn't finish the starter because I got this horrible headache, but I am going to finish it today. And I am also going to install the belts as well as the oil catch can, which I got right here. But I also have a lot of other stuff to do, like helping my mom move, as well as taking a tire off of my dad's truck because he got a flat somehow. It's just been sitting ever since. This is my dad's 2005 Toyota X-Runner. I haven't really seen many of this specific truck. I feel like it's kind of rare, but I honestly want it, not gonna lie. But it's the one that has the flat tire. It's been like this for a couple months, I want to say. But I am finally going to take it off for him so he can go get a tire put on it so he can drive it again. But now it's back to this. I just have to connect the electrical connections and put that little bracket back on, and then we can see if it starts up. Where is it? There it is. There we go.
I just have to see if it starts, but before I do that, I am going to check my oil level. It's actually at a good level. Now we just gotta see if the starter works. Let's see. I'm crossing my fingers. Oh! It started. Bro. Bro. So it starts, but it still clicks. I don't know if I should trust it. But before I let it warm up, I'm gonna turn it off and do the belts and the oil catch can. Got the first belt out. I am also going to be deleting the cruise control today, because this is going to be where my oil catch can is gonna go. Just like that, I have it zip tied up. Now it's time to get the next belt off. Get the second one out. Yeah, these belts are definitely bad. It's missing a whole rib. That's crazy. And this one's cracking. Yeah, definitely bad. Time to put them in. Yeah, they're in. Now I just have to see if it starts again. So I'm starting to think it's more of an electrical issue of why it's not starting, rather than a starter issue. Because the starter does click. Maybe it's not getting enough voltage. Too much voltage is getting lost somewhere. Something like that. Because it is just clicking. Or not. Barely clicking now, because I just did this a bunch of times. But I think the battery might be a little low, so I am going to connect my jump pack just to let it charge up a little bit. Maybe then it might start. Maybe it was because the alternator belt was a little loose too. As you heard when I first started it up, it was squealing, so that also might be the problem. So I'm going to charge the battery and see if that's the problem. But before that, we're going to take a little break to eat. Got the jump pack connected. Now it's time to see if it starts. Hopefully it does. So I think it is definitely an electrical issue, because I've had my jump box connected to the terminals like you're supposed to, and it was just clicking whenever I turned it. But then I moved the jump pack clamps to right here and right here, and it started up. I think I'm gonna check if the alternator is putting out enough voltage to keep this battery charged, because I think that's what's happening. But I am also going to disconnect the battery from the terminals, see if I can just clean this up a bit, because maybe this is corroded, or I mean, always give it a shot, I guess. So I got my drill with a wider wheel on it. I'm just gonna go over all that. I'm going to put dielectric grease on there just to make sure it's making contact. Hopefully that this is the problem. And it does start after this, because that is looking a lot better than what it used to look. Both of them. I got it all cleaned up. I did put dielectric grease in there, as you can see. It's kind of gushing out. Hopefully it won't corrode again. Let's see if this puppy starts. Cross my fingers again. Look at that. That's beautiful. Wonderful. Amazing. Runs. Just to make sure, I'm gonna turn back off. Boom. Right back on. Just make sure. Boom. Right back on. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful. Amazing. Just like that. Problem fixed. So if any of you guys know what I can put on my battery so it doesn't corrode, or if it is just dielectric grease or anything like that, just let me know in the comments what I can put on my battery so it doesn't corrode again. Because that was pretty bad, I guess. And while I'm at it, I am going to clean the ground as well and maybe clean that up, make it look a little better. But yeah, it's beautiful. Now next up is just to install the oil catching right there. And I do have to do some modification to it. But before I start doing the oil catch can, I am going to help start moving my mom out. All that room. Oh, I need to grab my oil. Oil for the ride home. Cheapest oil ever. Because it's just gonna burn it anyways and leak it out. So why get the good stuff when I can get the cheap stuff? That. This is the first load. Gonna go unpack it now. The first thing I'm gonna do is to see or test fit my oil catch can, which is going to go right in this empty space right here, and it kind of fits kind of perfectly. Hold on, let me put it in. And I am going to be using this little stud here to hold it, and I need to drill a hole right there. And I think I'm gonna cut this bracket a little shorter so it can fit nice, but right there, look, fits perfectly. Look at that. That just looks beautiful. And it's even staying there by itself. Amazing. And then I don't know if I need more line yet, but I think I might be okay. Might be. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. So first things first, I'm gonna cut this bracket a lot shorter, and then drill a hole to the top of this so it can fit in my car. First, I need to find like a marker or something so I know where I'm cutting and drilling that hole. So I did just rub the bracket around on this where I wanted it to fit. It did leave like a little mark that I am going to mark with a Sharpie I just lost, but there it is, with the Sharpie. And then I'm going to cut it, I say like right somewhere around here, maybe flush with the catch can. Got the very concerning looking angle grinder. Got it a little. I did use this, you know, for a little bit just to, you know, get some off, but I decided and remembered that my dad has an angle grinder, so I'm gonna be using this to cut that. Safety squints. Now I'm just gonna smooth it out with this. Okay, we're back. And I got this done. I know it's not the prettiest. Trust me. Just some, like a Scotch pad or sandpaper, smooth it up. Trust it'll look good. But I think I'm gonna leave it at this, and then I just have to drill a hole where I accidentally wiped the marker off, but I can still see it. But I just have to drill the hole and then it's ready to mount. But before I get too distracted, let me go take my dad's tire off so he can finally drive his truck again. Piece of wood so it doesn't sink into the grass. Something cool about this jack stand is it automatically goes up. Pretty cool. Gotta give it a little shake test. Make sure it don't fall. It's on my jack. Pretty sturdy to me. So I got the tire off, and this was kind of last minute, but we're getting the tire put on this one, and then at a later date, I guess, they're gonna bring the whole truck in to replace all the tires. But right now, we're just bringing this one in, kind of last minute. They close at 7, and it's like 6 right now, but it only takes 10 minutes to get there, so. It's just me, or whenever you see someone doing a job that you could do, you're just like, I can do that myself. Why am I getting it done here? But my dad paid for it, so just like that, we're back at it. Another beautiful sunset. Pretty cool. There we go. Got a 100 foot-pound torque stick. Gonna torque these down to 100 foot-pounds. And yeah. Oops. And I'm gonna go over all of them again, just to make sure. Just like that, and we're done. Time to jack it back up and get it off that jack stand. Okay, so I'm back at my apartment complex. As you can see, you guys didn't miss much. I just moved a bunch of stuff. Basically, that's it. I just moved a bunch of stuff from my mom. I didn't really mess with my car after that. Just moved a bunch of stuff, and now I'm back here. I finally got my idle air control valve in, as well as my throttle position sensor. I'm going to be replacing that right now. So I think I can just take this off and then get it out of the way so I can get access to my idle air control valve. And then my throttle position sensor is below this fuel line right here. Ooh, that's hot. So I don't know how I'm gonna get to that yet, but I'll cross that when we get there. Right now I'm just gonna get this off. Now that I got that off, it's just 4 screws holding it in on each corner, and this tube right here that I'm gonna take off. I think it's a coolant line, so I'm hoping that I don't leak any coolant because the car is hot and that would burn my hands, obviously. So I loosened it. Now it's just time to take it off. Why is this kind of scary? Oh. Yeah. Maybe that was a bad idea. Yikes. Now you guys know what not to do if you have a Porsche J5 and you're replacing your idle air control valve. It will spray coolant if it is hot from this hose. I kind of assumed that, but you know, kind of want to replace it right now, so you know, being impatient. Oh well. I think I'm just gonna undo the strut brace because it is kind of in the way, and it would give me more room if I got it off. So just like that, it's off. I got all the screws loose, and now I just have to take all of them out. And just like that, it is off. And I know that there's a gasket right here. I couldn't find one online that came with the air control valve. So I'm gonna see if I can just reuse this one. And if it leaks or anything, I'll just buy or try to find one. And I guess while all that is off, I'm gonna take this off so I can get a better view of the throttle position sensor, which is right there. So I don't know how I would get the throttle position sensor off without taking the whole throttle body off. So I think I'm just gonna leave it. It's been working fine, but if it ever does go bad, I have a new one right here I can use. So right now I'm just gonna replace the idle air control valve. This brand new one, really clean. There's no good way to record this, so I'm just gonna put it in just like that. It's in. I just connect the coolant hose and plug everything back up and see if it runs good, I guess. First up is the hose. Slide right on. There we go. And of course I dropped my little tool down this crevice somewhere and it just falls into the darkness of the abyss. I found it and it landed on top of my starter. Well, where this solenoid is. Well, I also lost my battery tie down thing because I was trying to use it to get it. Yeah, it fell down this little hole right there because I was trying to get it out, and now it's all the way at the bottom. So I think I'm just gonna put everything back together and start it, see if it maybe vibrates out. That's what I'm thinking right now. So let's just like that. Let's see if it starts up. Idle's fine. I'll put the strut brace back on, and then hopefully the things that I dropped vibrate out. That's all I'm hoping. Let's see. Oh. It's idling by itself. Oh. Concerning. I have no clue what it's doing. Maybe it's like relearning or something. Maybe, I think so. Yeah, it's like smoothing out a little, right? It's just going back to what it was doing last time. Oh. I don't know if it fixed it or not. It's being weird. But let's just... I heard something fall. That doesn't seem right. Bro. I might as well just keep it unplugged because it runs perfectly fine with it unplugged, which is what I might do if it doesn't fix itself. Or I might disconnect the battery for a little bit so it resets everything. I'm not sure yet, but I guess let me see if those things dropped. Let's take a look, and I can't even fit my phone there. One of the two things dropped. So I think I'm just gonna drive around the parking lot, see if the other one wants to fall out, and see if the idle air control valve wants to fix itself. I'm gonna put the strut brace on now as well. Just gonna like that. It's back on. Now I'm just gonna I guess do a couple circles, see if it falls out. It is idling better and it doesn't rev hang like it used to. It just goes back down. So that's good. It's running good. I didn't hear the thing fall out, so I guess my battery tie down thing is just stuck in my engine bay until I replace the starter. Yeah. Also, I realized that my car stopped making this sound when I had it disconnected. I don't think about. Okay, it's not gonna make it anymore. Okay, it stopped making it when I started the track recorded, but it was making like a popping sound, and I realized that it wasn't making that sound when I had the idler control. It just popped when I had it disconnected, so I guess that's what's wrong, or that's what's making that sound. Also, do you guys notice anything different about how it sounds? It's pretty quiet, don't you think? I fixed that horrible sounding sound, and you guys will never guess what it was. It was my timing belt tensioner. It was so loose and the spring wasn't doing anything, so it was just slapping because it was really loose, and that's why it was running horrible and all that. And it's nice to know that now, because now I know whenever it makes that sound, I know what it is and I can fix it. Because I just had to loosen up the tensioner belt, pull the tensioner itself back in to tension the belt, and then tighten it back up, and then that was the fix. After this video, I have one more video that I have done vlog-like, and that's going to be my last vlog-type video until I fully figure out how I want to make my videos. So after this next video, I'm going to be experimenting with editing and taking videos, so look out for these new videos, but that's it for this video. See you in the next. Bye.